Hello everyone. I'll be camping out here in this snowy forest in the next few days. The storm clouds are already gathering, but I've brought my tent and the gear I need. It's going to be a test of patience, strength, survival in the heart of winter. The trail is quiet, pines towering on either side. My backpack weighs heavy, each step sinking deep into the snow. The wind bites at my face, but after 2 hours of trekking, I find a flat clearing between the trees. This will be home. From the pack, I pull out a folded tent. The frame snaps into shape, holes driven deep into the snow. The corners are tied down with ropes and extra stakes cut from nearby branches. The fabric flaps wildly in the wind, but finally the tent stands firm. A fragile fortress in the storm. Inside, I spread pine boughs on the floor, the needles crunching under my gloves. They would insulate against the frozen ground. I spread a rug I had brought on top, creating a bed that promised real warmth. Next comes the stove. Metal plates unfold, bolts tighten one by one. The chimney rises through the tent flap, standing tall like a lifeline. Here, in the frozen silence, each small step is more than work. It's survival. But without firewood, the stove is useless. I grab my saw and head into the forest. Snow crunches beneath my boots until I spot a fallen spruce, half buried in white. The saw bites deep, rasping through the trunk. Bit by bit, I cut it down to size. Dragging heavy logs back to camp, sweat freezes on my forehead. At the tent, I split the logs into smaller pieces, stacking them neatly in a pile. My hands ache, but the sight of the wood gives me comfort. This is not just fuel. It's the promise of warmth through the night. I strike flint and steel, sparks catching on birch bark. A flame flickers, fragile but alive. I feed it patiently until the fire roars within the stove, orange light filling the tent. The walls glow golden, and finally, warmth begins to spread. Snow melts in a pot, turning slowly into clear water. I swirl a tea bag inside, steam rising into the air. Each sip spreads heat through my chest, a sharp contrast to the raging cold outside. The storm may howl, but in here, there is peace. Dinner is next. I chop vegetables, drop noodles into bubbling broth, and roast a piece of meat on the pan. The smell fills the tent, rich and comforting. Out here, a simple meal becomes a feast, each bite a reward for the day's hard work. Night settles in. I hang my gloves and boots near the stove, steam rising as they dry. I unrolled my sleeping bag across the hides and pine boughs. Slipping inside, layers of fabric shut out the frost. The fire crackles, and soon sleep comes, fragile but deep. Looking back at the night, I realized survival isn't only about fire or shelter. It's about patience, resilience, and finding joy in simple things. A tent, a fire, a meal, enough to endure, enough to live fully in nature's embrace.